The vast emptiness of space stretched before the medical recovery vessel, like an endless black canvas. Dr. Hyun-Ki Park stood near the main observation window, his eyes scanning the asteroid field with practiced precision. The ships advanced, sensors hummed softly, cutting through the silent darkness. Suddenly, a faint energy signature flickered on the main display. Most rescue teams would have ignored such a weak signal, but Hyun-Ki had learned that the smallest trace could mean the difference between life and death. He motioned to his junior medical officer Lee Soo-jin to adjust the long-range scanners. "There," Hyun-Ki whispered, pointing at a cluster of rocky formations. A damaged spacecraft lay partially hidden, its metallic hull reflecting what little light existed in this remote sector. The ship's exterior bore the unmistakable markings of the Chiron Empire, a civilization known for its complex diplomatic relations and advanced space exploration. As they approached, the extent of the damage became clear. Plasma weapon scars decorated the ship's exterior, telling a story of a violent encounter. Space pirates were notorious in this region, hunting vulnerable spacecraft for resources and technology. The medical team prepared for potential rescue. Each member checked their specialized environmental suits, designed to adapt to multiple atmospheric conditions. Hyun-Ki's suit contained advanced medical technology that could stabilize virtually any known biological form. Careful maneuvering brought their vessel close to the damaged spacecraft. Emergency protocols activated, creating a secure docking mechanism. The airlock hissed open, revealing a scene of controlled chaos inside the alien vessel. Bodies of alien crew members were scattered throughout the ship's interior. Most showed signs of severe weapon trauma. But in the central chamber, something moved. A faint blue glow caught Hyun-Ki's attention, a sign of life among the destruction. Princess Ju-won lay partially trapped beneath a fallen navigation console. Her royal armor, once pristine and ornate, was now torn and stained with her distinctive blue blood. Her breathing was shallow, each breath a struggle against mounting internal injuries. Hyun-Ki moved with professional calm. Years of deep space, medical training had prepared him for scenarios most would consider impossible. He scanned the princess, his medical device translating her complex biological readings into comprehensible data. "Multiple internal ruptures," he muttered to Soo-jin. "Plasma weapon damage. Her species' cellular structure is unlike anything in our standard medical databases." The princess's eyes flickered open. Unlike human eyes, hers were a deep violet with intricate membrane patterns that shifted with her consciousness. She saw Hyun-Ki, a human, a species her civilization considered technologically primitive and culturally insignificant. For a moment, fear and pride battled within her. Accepting help from a human would be seen as a weakness among her people. But survival instinct was stronger than cultural prejudice. Hyun-Ki noticed her hesitation. He spoke softly, using the universal medical communication protocols. "Your injuries are critical. I can help you, but you must remain calm." His hands moved with a surgeon's precision. Each movement calculated, each touch deliberate. The medical equipment began adapting to her alien physiology, creating custom treatment protocols in real time. The ship's emergency systems continued to fail around them. Sparks erupted from damaged communication panels. The temperature was dropping rapidly. Time was running out. Princess Ju-won watched the human doctor work. There was something different about his approach, not just technical skill, but a genuine commitment to saving life. Her people viewed medical treatment as a calculated procedure. This human saw it as a mission, a calling. As Hyun-Ki prepared to stabilize her most critical wounds, he knew this was more than a routine rescue. Something extraordinary was about to unfold, a moment that would challenge everything the princess understood about humanity. The rescue had begun. The story of an unexpected connection was just taking its first breath. The medical bay hummed with soft electronic sounds. Princess Ju-won lay on a specialized treatment bed, her alien biology fighting against the unfamiliar human medical equipment. Dr. Hyun-Ki Park moved carefully, understanding that one wrong step could terminate the delicate rescue operation. Her violet eyes tracked his every movement. The princess came from a culture that viewed humans as primitive and barely worth acknowledging. Generations of her people had considered humans nothing more than scattered, technologically inferior beings wandering through space. "Do not touch me," she whispered in broken human communication language, her voice weak but still carrying a royal command. Hyun-Ki understood her resistance. Cultural barriers were often more challenging to overcome than medical complications. He continued preparing his medical instruments, showing no reaction to her defensive statement. The medical scanner continued collecting data about her unique biological structure. Her skin had multiple layers of protective membranes, each responding differently to human medical technology. Her blood chemistry was complex, a mix of liquid and crystalline structures that would challenge most medical systems. Her royal training demanded she resist help from what her culture considered an inferior species. But her body told a different story. Each moment of resistance was causing more internal damage. The plasma weapon injuries were spreading microscopic damage through her cellular system. Hyun-Ki's junior medical officer, Soo-jin, prepared specialized nano-regenerative treatments. These microscopic medical robots could adapt to various biological structures, making them perfect for complex medical interventions. "Your injuries require immediate treatment," Hyun-Ki explained calmly. "Resistance will only increase potential damage." The princess tried to move but found her body too weak. Her royal pride battled against her survival instinct. Generations of her people's cultural superiority complex fought against the simple human desire to save a life. Hyun-Ki noticed her internal struggle. He had seen similar reactions during previous deep space medical missions. Some alien species viewed medical help as a form of weakness, a surrender of control. Soo-jin prepared a translation device that could communicate medical information across different linguistic and cultural barriers. The device would help explain the treatment process in terms the princess could understand. "Your cellular regeneration rate is declining," the translation device announced in her native language. "Current survival probability is 22.6% without immediate intervention." The princess's eyes widened. Her own medical experts had given her no hope. Yet this human team was offering a chance at survival using technologies her civilization had never imagined. Hyun-Ki began the first stage of treatment. Nanorobots entered her bloodstream, starting the complex process of repairing damaged cellular structures. Each microscopic robot was programmed with adaptive algorithms that could understand and repair her unique biological system. Her body initially resisted. Alien immune responses tried to attack the foreign medical technology. But the nanorobots were designed with advanced defensive protocols. They moved smoothly, repairing damage without triggering complete biological rejection. The medical bay's atmosphere changed. What started as a potential confrontation was transforming into a delicate dance of medical intervention and biological adaptation. Princess Ju-won watched in silent amazement. Her understanding of medical science was being completely rewritten. These humans were not just saving her life, they were demonstrating a level of medical sophistication her people had never achieved. Hours passed. The nanorobots continued their precise work. Hyun-Ki monitored every metric, making minute adjustments to ensure successful treatment. The princess's breathing stabilized. Her cellular structure began responding positively to the treatment. What seemed impossible just hours ago was now becoming a medical miracle. As the first phase of treatment completed, Princess Ju-won looked at Dr. Hyun-Ki with a mixture of respect and confusion. Her world was changing. Everything she knew about humans was being challenged in this small medical bay, floating in the vast darkness of space. The first contact was more than a medical intervention. It was the beginning of a transformation that would challenge interstellar understanding forever. The medical chamber glowed with soft blue light. Dr. Hyun-Ki Park's hands moved with precision across complex holographic medical displays. Princess Ju-won watched him, her alien body fighting between survival and cultural resistance. Specialized medical nanorobots continued their intricate work inside her cellular system. Each tiny machine was programmed to understand and repair her complex biological structure. Her species had never seen such advanced medical technology. Her cellular regeneration is unusual, Su-Jin whispered, studying the medical readings. The nanorobots were adapting faster than any previous medical intervention they had witnessed. Hyun-Ki's eyes focused on the microscopic repair process. The plasma weapon injuries had created complex damage pathways through her biological system. Normal medical treatments would have failed, but human medical technology was proving to be something extraordinary. The princess's body temperature fluctuated. Her alien metabolism was fighting the treatment, seeing the nanorobots as potential invaders. But the microscopic machines were smarter. They communicated with her cellular structure, showing they were there to help. "We need to adjust the nanorobot frequency," Hyun-Ki said quietly. His fingers moved across the holographic interface, changing microscopic communication protocols. Suddenly, something unexpected happened. The nanorobots began communicating with her cellular system in a way that went beyond simple medical repair. They were learning her biological language, understanding her unique genetic structure. Princess Ju-Wan gasped. She could feel something changing inside her body. The pain was reducing. Her damaged organs were not just healing, they were becoming stronger than before. The medical team watched in amazement. This was more than a standard medical procedure. They were witnessing a breakthrough that could change interstellar medical understanding forever. Hyun-Ki realized they were creating something new, not just a treatment, but a potential bridge between different biological systems. The nanorobots were adapting, learning, growing with each microscopic interaction. Her royal training had taught her that humans were inferior. But now, she was experiencing something that challenged everything she knew. These medical machines were alive in a way her people's technology could never achieve. The nanorobots completed their first major repair cycle. Princess Ju-Wan's damaged organs were not just healed, they were enhanced. Her cellular structure showed increased resilience, improved regeneration capabilities. "Remarkable," Su-Jin whispered. The medical readings were beyond anything in their existing databases. Hyun-Ki continued monitoring. Each moment brought new discoveries. The nanorobots were creating new communication pathways between different biological systems. They were learning, adapting, growing. The princess's violet eyes watched the medical display. She could see the microscopic machines working, could feel them repairing her internal systems. It was like watching a living, breathing medical miracle. Hours passed. The treatment continued. What started as a potential death scenario was transforming into a medical breakthrough. The nanorobots were not just repairing, they were teaching. Her body began to change. Cellular structures became more efficient. Damaged areas were not just healing, they were improving. The human medical technology was doing something her own medical experts would consider impossible. Hyun-Ki understood they were creating more than a medical treatment. They were building a potential bridge between different biological systems. The nanorobots represented a new form of medical intelligence. The medical bay hummed with potential. Princess Ju-Wan realized she was experiencing something historic. Her understanding of medical science was being completely rewritten. As the treatment entered its final stages, something remarkable happened. The nanorobots had not just repaired her body. They had created a new biological communication system that bridged human and alien medical understanding. The breakthrough was complete. What started as a desperate rescue mission was now a potential revolution in interstellar medical science. Princess Ju-Wan looked at Dr. Hyun-Ki, her eyes filled with a mixture of wonder, respect, and a growing understanding that would change everything she knew about humanity. The medical recovery room felt different now. Princess Ju-Wan sat quietly, her alien body still adjusting to the remarkable treatment. Dr. Hyun-Ki Park moved around the room, preparing medical reports and monitoring her final recovery stages. Something had changed between them. The initial tension of first contact had transformed into something more complex. The princess watched the human doctor with curiosity instead of the previous contempt. "Tell me about your medical missions," she requested suddenly. Her voice carried a mixture of genuine interest and lingering royal authority. Hyun-Ki understood. This was more than a simple conversation. This was an opportunity to bridge cultural gaps. He began sharing stories of human medical teams working in remote planetary systems, explaining how human medical professionals traveled to places others would never go. He told her about missions to distant colonies where new diseases threatened entire populations. Stories of doctors working in extreme conditions, saving lives without expecting recognition or reward. Each story challenged her existing understanding of humanity. The princess listened carefully. Her people viewed medical treatment as a calculated procedure, something done with clinical precision and minimal emotional investment. These human stories were different. They spoke of compassion, of going beyond professional duty. One story caught her attention. Hyun-Ki described a mission to a volcanic planet where a mining colony was struck by a mysterious respiratory disease. Human medical teams spent months developing a treatment, working without sleep, risking their own lives to save people who were not even from their own species. "Your people would do this?" she asked, her violet eyes showing genuine surprise. Hyun-Ki smiled. "Saving life is not about species, it is about our shared existence." The medical bay's atmosphere changed. What began as a rescue mission was becoming a cultural exchange. The princess was learning that human medical professionals saw their work as more than a job. It was a calling. Soo-jin brought medical documentation, showing how human medical technologies had been shared across different planetary systems, open-source medical research, collaborative healing approaches, concepts completely foreign to the princess's understanding of medical science. "We believe knowledge should help everyone," Hyun-Ki explained. "Medical discoveries are not weapons. They are tools for survival." The princess processed this information. Her royal training had taught her that knowledge was power, something to be controlled and protected. These humans saw knowledge as something to be shared, a resource that grows when distributed. She began asking more questions about human medical ethics, about their approach to different biological systems, about the philosophy behind their medical interventions. Each answer revealed a depth she had never expected. Hyun-Ki shared how human medical teams often worked in areas with limited resources, creating innovative solutions with minimal technology. Adaptive thinking, compassion, and a fundamental belief in the value of life. These were the core principles of human medical practice. The nanorobots that had saved her life became a metaphor for this approach. They adapted, learned, communicated, just like the best human medical professionals. Her understanding of humanity was transforming. These were not the primitive beings her culture had described. These were sophisticated, compassionate beings, with a remarkable ability to adapt and help. As recovery continued, the princess realized something profound. The medical treatment was more than a physical healing. It was a healing of cultural misunderstandings, a bridge between two different ways of seeing the universe. Hyun-Ki watched her transformation. He knew this moment was bigger than a simple medical rescue. This was a potential diplomatic breakthrough, a chance to show that compassion could overcome cultural barriers. The medical bay became a classroom. The princess was learning about humanity, not through formal diplomatic channels, but through the personal stories of medical professionals who saw every life as valuable. Her perspective was changing. The contempt she had initially felt was replaced by respect, by a growing understanding that humanity was far more complex than her people had ever imagined. As the day progressed, Princess Ju-won understood that this rescue was more than a medical miracle. It was the beginning of a new understanding between species, a testament to the power of compassion and shared existence. The royal chamber of the Chiron Empire buzzed with tension. Princess Ju-won stood before the High Council, her recovered body a testament to human medical excellence. Thousands of royal advisors and diplomatic representatives watched her every move. "I will speak about what happened," she announced, her voice calm and clear. The council expected a typical report about the space pirate attack. Instead, they would Here's something that would change interstellar relationships forever. Ju-won described Dr. Hyun-Ki Park not as a simple medical professional, but as a representation of human potential. She spoke about the nano-robot technology, about the compassionate approach to medical treatment, about a species her people had consistently underestimated. Our understanding of humans was completely wrong, she declared. Her words created a ripple of shock through the royal chamber. Generations of diplomatic isolation and cultural superiority were being challenged by her single testimony. She detailed the medical rescue, how human professionals had saved her life using technologies her own medical experts considered impossible, how they worked not for political gain, but from a fundamental belief in preserving life. The royal advisors listened in stunned silence. Their princess was dismantling years of carefully constructed cultural narratives about human beings. They did not ask for payment, Ju-won continued. They did not seek political advantage. They simply saw a life that needed saving. Her personal medical records were displayed on massive holographic screens. The transformation caused by human medical technology was undeniable. Her cellular structure showed improvements beyond anything the Chiron medical system could achieve. Each image told a story of human medical excellence, the nano-robot's remarkable adaptation, the precise medical interventions, the complete recovery that should have been impossible. Senior council members exchanged worried glances. This was more than a medical report. This was a potential diplomatic revolution. Ju-won shared personal stories from her time with Dr. Hyun-Ki, how he explained human medical missions, how they approached healing as a universal responsibility, not a transactional service. We have much to learn from humans, she said, her final statement echoing through the massive royal chamber. The silence was profound. Centuries of cultural misconceptions were being challenged by a single medical rescue. Outside the chamber, diplomatic communication channels began lighting up. News of the princess's testimony spread across multiple star systems. Humans were no longer seen as a primitive species, but as potential partners in medical and scientific development. Dr. Hyun-Ki, monitoring the transmission from his medical vessel, watched with quiet satisfaction. He understood this moment was bigger than a single rescue. This was a potential bridge between civilizations. Su-jin, his junior medical officer, smiled. "They're listening," she whispered. The princess's tears during her testimony became a symbol, not of weakness but of a profound emotional and intellectual transformation. She had experienced something that changed her entire worldview. Chiron diplomatic protocols began shifting. Research exchanges were proposed. Medical technology collaborations were discussed. The rigid barriers of previous interactions started crumbling. Princess Ju-won had done more than survive a medical emergency. She had opened a door between two civilizations, challenging existing understandings of capability, compassion, and potential. Her final words would be remembered for generations. Humanity showed me that medical treatment is not just about healing bodies. It is about healing understanding. The royal chamber erupted in a mix of confusion, excitement, and a newfound respect. The human medical team had achieved what decades of diplomatic negotiations could not, a genuine connection beyond cultural barriers. As holographic displays continued showing her medical transformation, it became clear. This was more than a rescue. This was the beginning of a new interstellar relationship, built on the fundamental human belief that every life matters. Dr. Hyun-Ki's simple act of saving a princess had become a moment that would reshape diplomatic understanding across multiple star systems.